Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. It is Monday and as promised I am going to bring you along for a full day of eating today, and I promise I will try to remember the pantry chore. I only have one little guy today and he is not feeling well at all. He has a terrible cold. Hardly ate his breakfast. All he wants to do is lay on the couch. So I told him we would have a lay on the couch snuggle day today. And he can help me in the kitchen if he wants. I need to make some sauerkraut. I have some cabbage in the refrigerator that I need to use up, plus a couple more heads that I got from my Azure haul. And I need to make sauerkraut because we are almost out of what's in the fridge and I don't have any on the shelf. I try to keep it going, but you know, the best laid plans. What else do I want to do today? I'd like to get some dog biscuits made. I don't know if that's going to happen. So we were going to take a ride to the mall and pick up an order at Boscov's, but it is still raining. It is freezing cold. It is windy. I am not taking a sick little boy out, and I'm not going out. He's loud. Are you loud, Jack? Yeah? So I am making breakfast right now. And I'll show you that when it's done. Oops, almost forgot. So I have 2 slices of toast. It's my homemade bread, 2 points per slice. I have guacamole. I didn't use the whole cup, but I'm gonna just count the whole cup. It's easier. And 2 eggs. I'll put everything up on the screen. And you've seen my videos before where I always have little hands in my breakfast. I got smart today and made him his own, so we'll see. That's my lid.
The hat.
It's a hat?
Yeah.
Now we are just going to pack the cabbage in the jar nice and tight. I'm a little concerned. Usually this has so much liquid in it and it doesn't. And I let it sit, but it's not liquidy. Usually there's so much liquid, it's insane. Because you need to have all of your cabbage under the liquid. I'm not sure what's going on here. Just gonna push it down in the jar, hoping to release more liquid. I mean, there's definitely liquid at the bottom of the bowl, but not like there usually is. I mean, if I have to make a salt brine and dump it on top, I will, but that's not my my hope, because usually I don't have to do that. Okay, yeah, there's more liquid. I see it. Okay, we're doing good now. Not sure, you probably can't see that on camera. I was hoping this jar would be completely filled because this was a decent amount of cabbage. It was a half a head and then there's 2 small heads. So I like it all the way filled up. But for now, we're gonna leave it like this. We're just gonna push it all down. And as you can see now, maybe, the liquid is over top of the cabbage. So I'm gonna take some cabbage leaves and just lay them on top, kind of tuck them down to keep the cabbage underneath of the liquid. That's why we keep those outer leaves. Now, I do not have fermentation weights. If you have fermentation weights, you can 100% just put those on there, but I don't. You can also take like a little mason jar, fill it with like beans or rocks or something and put that on there. But I'm just gonna do this to keep it underneath the brine. As long as your cabbage stays underneath the water, you're fine, because mold cannot grow in water. So there we go. Now, this is going to continue to make liquid. Usually this is completely full. It's going to continue to make liquid. So when I store this, I store it like on a dish or in a bowl or something. So when it starts coming out, it gets caught. Now I have a fermentation lid. You don't need this. You can just use a mason jar lid, but I got these at Goodwill, dirt cheap. So I'm just gonna put that on there, and this has a little date indicator. Today is the 3rd. I'm just gonna put it on there, and then I'll mark it on the calendar and know when we did it. And I like to let mine ferment for about 3 weeks before we eat it. So that's how simple it is to make sauerkraut. Okay, let's get started making the dog biscuits. So the first thing we need is 2 1/4 cup of whole wheat flour. I've made these before. You can help me. You're gonna pour the flour, okay? You wanna pour the flour in the bowl? Here. 1. Can you count them for me? So we need 2 1/4 cups of whole wheat flour. 3 more, 1 more. We need 1/4 cup.
Okay, this one.
Here.
This one.
Here you go. Then we need a 1/2 cup of non-fat dry milk powder.
This one.
I have a 1/4 cup out, so I'm just going to use 2 1/4 cups.
Oh my God, this one.
Here you go. Then we need an egg. Then we need a 1/2 cup of oil. I'm going to use avocado oil. Is it heavy? It's a little heavy.
This heavy. This one.
1/2 cup of oil. You want to pour it in?
Yeah.
Then we need 1 beef bouillon cube that's been dissolved in a 1/2 cup of water. And then we need 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, which I forgot to get out. Yes, we need that. You're right. Yep, hold on.
Yay.
Okay, here you go. 1 tablespoon of brown sugar.
You gotta mix it up.
We're not going to mix it with that. We're going to mix it with this. Then we are just going to mix this up. I usually do it in a mixer, but honestly, I was just lazy. You can mix it. Let me start it, okay? I was really just too lazy to get the mixer out. I know that's silly, but that's the truth. So we're just going to get this all mixed up, and then we're going to knead it for a little bit. Okay, I honestly don't think I'll ever get the mixer out again because that was too easy. So now I'm just going to knead it a little bit right in the bowl.
Why? Why, Joan?
Why? Because we have to make it like this. What are we making?
People.
What?
People.
We're making dog biscuits. You gonna take some home to Bruno?
Yeah.
Feed some to Aria?
Yeah.
Okay. So now all we have to do is roll it out on a floured surface and use our cookie cutter, cut it out, and bake it in a 300-degree oven for 30 minutes. Okay, I'm just going to do a little bit at a time. I put some flour on the counter and I'm just going to roll it out. We went downstairs in my cookie cutter bin to look for the cookie cutters that are shaped like dog bones, and I could only find one of them. Yep, in 1 second you can help me this one. And I can only find one of them, my little tiny one. I can't find my other sizes, which is not cool because I need to find them. Because I sell a lot of these at Christmas time. I make and sell a ton of these. And also make them as gifts for the animals in our family. But we have it all rolled out. And we are just going to cut them out. I'm going to make little tiny dog biscuits. And then we found our fall leaf cookie cutter. So we might as well make some fall leaves as well. And that's all there is to it, making homemade dog biscuits. Best thing to do for your pups, because that way they don't have all those nasty ingredients in it. There's no dyes, there's no artificial flavoring, artificial coloring, preservatives, all that. So there you go. We're gonna pop them in the oven and start on the next batch. Okay, our first sheet is done. We did some bones and we did some fall leaves. They're just a little bit bigger than the bones. And they're gonna go in the oven at 300 for 30 minutes. We don't need that. I'm not sure what I would do without such a good little helper helping me today.
Okay.
Good job. Do the next one.
This one.
Do that one.
Okay.
Good job, Jack.
3 more, Joy. 3 more.
3 more?
Yeah.
Treats are all done. I have my jar almost filled up, plus this whole rack that's still cooling. So it makes a decent amount depending on, the size of your cookie cutter. Like this size cookie sheet, it makes pretty much 3 full ones using a smaller cookie cutter. I baked the eggshells for the chickens. I just have to crush those up. And Mr. is eating his lunch. Okay, my friends, baby's down for a nap. So I thought this would be a good time to do the little pantry tour. Now, when I say pantry, it is not a beautiful Pinterest-worthy pantry. It is in my basement. And our basement is just that. It is a basement. It is not finished. It's completely unfinished. It's cinder block walls. It's an unfinished drywall wall that Doug put up, and just a bunch of shelves. So nothing Pinterest worthy here. So if you thought that's what you were going to see, you're sadly mistaken. But I will show you how we store our food. Okay, in case you didn't see my weekend vlog, this is our new freezer. It is a 21 cubic foot stand-up freezer. This is our meat freezer mostly. This is where most of our meat is. I keep an inventory on the front. I just make this in Excel. And every 6 weeks or so when I get a butcher box, I just update it. However many chicken breasts we have, I start and I count down, etc., etc. And every time I take something out, I just put an X on it. And that way we know pretty much what we have. So I'll show you this freezer again. I know I showed it the other day, but just in case you missed it. Top shelf is poultry. These are all chicken breasts. This is ground turkey and chicken tenderloin. This shelf is beef. This is all ground beef. This is all steak tips, stew beef, and roasts. I have some chipped beef and a London broil there in the middle. And this is a seafood shelf, but we have beef overflow. These are all steaks. And then this is our fish and shrimp. Then this shelf is all pork. This is all sausages and hot dogs and ribs. This is all ham products and a roast. And this is all pork chops. On the bottom is kind of a hodgepodge. Right now, because it is harvest season, or harvest season's ending, it's lots and lots and lots of tomatoes. I just throw them in the freezer, and that way I can preserve them at my own leisure. I don't have to do it while I have to do everything else, because these will hold. They'll come out in a couple weeks, get put in the roaster, and I'll make either sauce or soup or both, or some salsa. We'll see. And in the door, the first two shelves are just like ice packs. And then this is butter, yeast, buttermilk. This is just some flour, some cooked chicken that I packed. I can pull that out if we need it for chicken salad or whatever. And then this shelf is bacon and some peppers. Peppers? Is that what that is? Yep, peppers. So that is our mostly meat freezer. Now I will show you the other freezer. This is our second fridge that used to be up in our kitchen. This freezer is so tiny. I mean, you can see, like, that's how tiny it is. In here is kind of just a mismatch. There's some vegetables that I froze, corn and green beans, and some fruit that I froze, some prepackaged frozen vegetables, and more tomatoes. Shocking. And in the door, I have frozen cranberries, frozen zucchini, and frozen blueberries. And then on the fridge part, this is our overflow fridge. You saw I bought a whole case of the cottage cheese, so that's in here. I have sour cream in here. Our cheese blocks that haven't been opened yet are in here. Guacamole, some fruits, turkey breast, cheeses, and turkey that's already been sliced. This is what I do with my big blocks of cheese. I just slice them down and package them. Lots and lots of milk. I forgot to show that on my grocery haul the other day because it was the only thing we bought at BJ. Well, not the only thing. I'll tell you what else we bought, but I bought 9 half-gallons of milk. And the nice thing about, there's some rainbow radishes. I think I might make those for dinner. Maybe not. The nice thing about organic milk, November 18th. And I think these are like November 26th. It lasts a really long time if it's not open. And then there's just some fruits and stuff down there. And in the door, more butter, some beer. I keep my nuts in the freezer or fridge to keep them from going rancid. You can keep them in the fridge or the freezer. I don't have any freezer space right now. That's where I'd rather have them. Half and half, cheese, more butter, more beer, and my sister's vegan butter if she comes over. So that is that refrigerator freezer. And then our deep freeze, this is waiting to go in. This is a bag of hard white wheat for me to grind into flour. When I get these, I like to put them in the freezer for like 5 days, just if there's anything in there, like weevils, it kills it. So I just didn't want to put that in and then have to take it out to show you this freezer. This is All of our homegrown chickens are in here, our whole roasters. They're all in the bottom. And then there's some more peppers and stuff because I just have to keep putting them somewhere. They'll get all used throughout the winter. And all of our bagels are kept in here. My ice cream freezer. More, you know, fruits and veggies. And this is applesauce before I started canning it. So we're eating through that before I start opening the cans. So that is that freezer. And now I'll show you my we'll start over here. So this is like prepackaged type food. The top shelf is breakfast. I've got my granola, syrup, Kamut Puffs, Heritage O's. These are like just Cheerios that we use, the babies and I use for different craft projects, counting and stuff like that. They're just generic Cheerios. I have to put this in a jar. Steel cut oats and more steel cut oats. I think I'm gonna put that in a 2-gallon, I'm out of 2-gallon buckets. This shelf is all snacks. Here's all nuts and some applesauce. My bucket of popcorn. I've got a box of organic Triscuits back there, and these are all those late July chips that my dear subscriber Brandy sent to me, and some pretzels. Condiments and things. This is all different vinegars. Lemon juice, apple cider vinegar, mustards, ketchups. I have just found this the other day. Thought I was out of mayonnaise. I have that as a backup. I like to make my own mayonnaise because we don't use it a whole lot. But I like to have that as a backup in case I have to make like a macaroni salad to take somewhere and I need a lot of mayonnaise. So let's see. Next is pasta. I've got lots of dried pasta on the shelf that hasn't been touched in a while because I just make my own now. This pasta I can't wait to use. My nephew brought this back from Italy for us. So I am very excited to try this. It is a lemon pasta and I know exactly what I'm going to use it for. Jar of Trader Joe's organic vodka sauce. That's a quick go-to when we need a quick dinner. And so is this. I love this Near East whole grain rice pilaf. Very, very good. And believe it or not, the ingredients are pretty darn clean. Bottom shelf is a bunch of broths, which you'll see why I probably won't even use these. I'll probably put them up on Gibbstown Giving. And the other day at BJ's, this is something else I bought. It is, actually, did I get this at BJ's? Yeah, I got this at BJ's. It is, instead of gingerbread houses, they're haunted houses. I thought Adam and Grace would have a really good time making them next week while they're here because they love to do gingerbread houses at Christmas. So that is that shelf. This shelf is just paper goods up here. See those paper towels? I bought those at the end of 2019 and still have some left. That's how rare we use paper towels, but not toilet paper. We use toilet paper. This is all like freezer bags and parchment paper and stuff like that. This is all my cleaning stuff. The vodka is on the cleaning shelf because that's what I make my cleaning solution with, vodka, cheap vodka. I have a couple bottles of bleach just in case, God forbid, something ever has to be bleached. I try not to use bleach too much. Toilet bowl cleaner, dish soap. This is miscellaneous stuff. I keep a pack of these Lysol wipes just ever since 2020, just in case. I don't know why. We keep a bottle of Dawn in case Aria ever gets with a skunk, because that's what you use. My Norwex stuff, some polish, silver polish. And then we're trying to work through these tabs, and then we're going to switch over to the Azure all natural dishwasher stuff. This shelf is all laundry detergent that I don't use. You can see it's dusty. Every couple weeks, I throw a couple up on Gibbstown Giving and give them away. And I also give them to the food pantry because people don't think about people having to wash clothes. So I just kind of, every couple weeks, I just get rid of a few more because we use the laundry sheets now. That way we don't have plastic in the landfills and they're natural, so we like that. Bottom is dog food, and I have to donate all this cat food to the shelter. This is all personal hygiene type stuff. Razors, tissues, toothpaste. I haven't converted Doug, actually, this isn't even the deodorant Doug uses, or the boys. I'm probably going to get rid of all that. I just noticed that. I don't even know where that came from. I haven't converted Doug over to the natural deodorant yet, but we're working on it. Toothpaste, feminine hygiene that, knock wood, haven't had to touch since last January. Hoping that stays the same. Tissues and all that, and my canners, and that's my cookbooks, and then all of my canning supplies. It's a bit messy because we are in the height of canning season, but all of my canning supplies are right there, and all of my kitchen overflow is back here. Appliances that I don't use often, serving trays, serving dishes, stuff like that. And then as far as my stuff to go out to the thrift store, I got to get that in my car. Now here is my canning shelves. So I've got chicken broth, beef broth, soups, vegetables, all along the top. The next shelf I have fruits and fruit sauces. They go all the way back there. Pickles and pickled items, relishes, salsas, other jams, peach jams, blueberry jams, and strawberry jams. And we have this little shelf, and I've got some pear jam up there, and I just kind of keep some squash on there. The next shelf is all baking. These are all different kind of flours that I use. Semolina, light rye, kamut, self-rising flour, bread flour, hard red wheat is back there. Baking powder, baking soda, coconut sugar, flax, all that kind of stuff. Anything that has to do with baking kind of goes on this shelf. And then oils right here. This was a mustard experiment that, my salt. Last shelf, this is all coffee and tea right here. And then this is all like canned goods and stuff, or peanut butter, and then tuna and some canned other stuff. A lot of canned tomatoes and things like that. And then we have our buckets. This is not marked yet. This is brown rice on top. Then white rice. I need to get a gamma lid for that. And then on the bottom is monk fruit. I've got my rolled oats, my hard white wheat berries. Then I've got two, that's why this is sticking out, of flour, regular all-purpose flour, sugar, and then in that is all of my spices. So that is our food storage. Like I said, this is all stuff we don't use on a daily basis. I will show you my daily working pantry now. Okay, this is our upstairs working pantry. On the top, I have a bunch of tea. That's tea bags. I've got whole wheat flour, white rice, non-fat dry milk up there. Here I've got stuff we use more on the daily. Back there I've got cocoa and cornmeal and 0-calorie brown sugar, monk fruit, regular powdered sugar, brown sugar. There's a couple jars back there, a little jar of self-rising flour, some onion soup mix that I make, and also some cream of chicken soup mix that I make, flour and sugar, which are pretty much used on the daily, my kamut puffs, and granola. That's the top. On the pull-out shelves, this is the snack/nut shelf. We've got our almonds, our walnuts, our pecans. Denise gifted me this, and I still need to do it to make my own sprouts. We've got dehydrated marshmallows back there. Not quite sure why they're in here. They're only used at Christmas when I make hot cocoa bombs, but okay. Pretzels, because the babies love pretzels. Box of Triscuits. My electrolyte powder. This is corn chips, and this is my Cocoa Puff cocoa cakes in there. And then just some applesauce and a couple different teas in there. This shelf is some dry goods and oils, popcorn, oats, breadcrumbs, steel cut oats, dog treats, some of the sprays and stuff in there, and then apple cider vinegar, avocado oil, and coconut oil. And then the bottom shelf, of course, is our favorite, coffees and teas. I know, it's a little bit out of control, isn't it? But it's something we enjoy. It's something we use every day. Well, that was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. Oh my goodness. So you asked for it. There it was, the tour of my pantry. Now I need to clean up this kitchen counter, go check for eggs, and what else? Get some lunch before, well, I just put the baby down a little while ago. He's coughing a lot, so I don't know how nap's going to go. We might just end up snuggling all afternoon. There might not be a nap. We will see. But I will be back and show you what I'm having for lunch today. Okay, sitting down to lunch. I brought the baby down and put him on the couch because he's coughing so much. It was making me so nervous having him upstairs. So if you hear a baby coughing, it's him. So I have 2 of the little mini cucumbers cut up for 0 points, plus I get a point back. I have some of my homemade ranch, that is 1 point. I have Nancy's probiotic low-fat cottage cheese. I have a half a cup of that. That is 2 points. Pineapple on top for 0 points. Then I have some of the Kirkland turkey breast also for 0 points. So my lunch is 2 points and 240 calories. It is 3:30 and Mr. Jack went home. So I'm going to sit and work on next week's menu a little bit and enjoy an afternoon cup of tea. Okay, sitting down to dinner, and it is kind of a convenience food dinner tonight. Yes, you heard me correctly. It is, because what do I say? We're not always perfect. I have creamy Dijon garlic salmon. We just did this in the cast iron in the house since it was still raining outside, and I made the garlic Dijon sauce. These are the Trader Joe's vegetable nests. I'm trying to clean off the pantry shelves, trying to clean out the freezer, getting rid of stuff that we have or have had for a while. And then today when I was doing my pantry tour and saw this, I'm like, oh, we're going to make that tonight because that's been hanging around for a while. So this is 5 points, 9 points, and I'm not sure. I have to look that up. I will put points and calories on the screen as always. Oh, and we also have homemade applesauce. And yes, it's, oh, you can't tell that it's pink. I made it with Pink Lady apples. So that was last year's. So there's dinner tonight. Well, friends, that is it for me tonight. Dinner was delicious, but super easy. I haven't made a dinner that easy in a long time. Opening up boxes. But you know, sometimes you just do that. So it's all good. My menu is getting so screwed up this week. We're supposed to have ham loaf tomorrow night, but we just had meatloaf, which wasn't on my original menu, so we don't want ham loaf. So I think tomorrow I am going to do my collab recipe for the Croctober. So I think I'm going to do that tomorrow. Just mix up the week a little bit. It is what it is. As long as we have crab bisque on Thursday, Doug will be fine with anything I put in front of him. So that is it. I am going to finish up my menu. It is almost done. I just have a little tweaking to do. Doug is upstairs studying. Shocking. And I think I'm going to watch the Thanksgiving pie fight on the Food Network because why not? I love watching baking shows. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get this video uploaded and call it a night. So my friends, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to spend it with me. I truly do appreciate it. And I will leave a couple videos linked here that you can go and enjoy. And I will see you tomorrow for Tuesday Tag.